Thank you, Cape Town, for putting my nose under your skin. Thank you, Design Team Indaba, for having me here. It's a big honor, and I do my best to change your life. The world from the perspective of the nose. What could happen is visible information, smell molecules, is a starting point of acting, reacting, communicating, etc., etc. We have an amazing hardware called a body. On this body, we have 5 amazing softwares. They do things beyond what they suspect to do, especially the nose. Mostly, we are using the nose to breathe in and out. Every day, we breathe up to 24,000 times. We move 12,7 cubic meter air. Every breath we do, we inhale smell molecules full time. Even when we sleep, we smell. We live in a world sanitized, deodorized, and pasteurized for your protection. Because not all smells can be nice, we will end up have none at all. I decided to change this. We communicate smell to perfume ads. Marketing took over where science left. Something must be wrong. People smelling in Google looks like this. Smelling people look like this. Sissel Tolaas look like this. Smell I see as important components delivering information to understand the surrounding you live in, be it the other human beings, be it the city, be it the neighborhood, and so on and so forth. Dogs knows it. Some human knows it. These are Inuits in Greenland. The only way they greet each other is by smelling each other. Maybe we should start to take up new habits of greeting. And smell, the nose, tells you a lot of important information concerning your surrounding. What would be if you couldn't smell a gas molecule, which is actually put on the top of a gas because that gas don't really smell, and if your house burned down if you didn't have the nose. So I take you into a survey of what I've been doing for around 20 years. I got tired of looking at the look of things. And having said that, discovering the nose gave me so much more quality, added so much more quality to my life. It's beyond the words. And I started to collect smells from all over the world. Like other people wrote a diary, I collected smells. I put my nose under the skin of cities. Here is an army supply store in Detroit, cheeses, shoes. I did all this research and I used no equipment, only collected smells analog, placed them in boxes, numbered the cans, and the purpose of this archive was to challenge my nose. Can I train my nose to go beyond emotion, relate to a smell rationally, see smell as information, pure information, letting out the emotion, getting rid of my prejudices? Can I use smell, purpose communication, etc., etc.? So I started to look into the opportunities. What can I do with the knowledge I have after 7 years of collecting smells and feeling ready to go out there and be a missionary of the nose? So of course the industry knocked on my door and said, oh, this girl is dangerous. We better work with her, otherwise she starts to work against us. So the biggest smell molecule provider in the world, who owes all molecules, be it smell and taste, one of the big 5, decided to collaborate with me in my lab in Berlin. Since then, I have access to amazing software and hardware. This is a headspace, which in the industry are normally used to replicate smell of nature for the purpose to sell cheap oils. Because distilling roses costs a fortune, so they make a reproduction of that rose as it made it into a chemical substitute, and then they mix it in an abstract slurry, purpose smell nice. I got access to this technology. I started to use this technology in reality. So here's me catching the smells of garbage in Detroit. And the small software, the small hardware I have there is like a mobile camera. It's like scanning the air. And it's amazing. And I can, so to say, bring it with me wherever I want. And wherever I'm interested in a smell, I just catch the smell, bring it with me back to the lab and scan the context of molecules. So to say, I take the reality apart, tear it up to micro units, and starting to understand the reality and living from a different purpose. So this is an identification of those molecules. With those sheets, I go to my lab. This is my lab in Berlin, consisting of 2,500 chemicals, with what I try to simulate, or replicate the smell I found, in this case, let's say garbage in Detroit. So I show a couple of ways I use all this smell research. This is a project I did in Lund University in Sweden, sponsored by Reuters. It's about news. Like we all know, we are tired of looking at image. My daughter, she's 14, said, "Mommy, news, be it melting poles, whatever, you know, it's just an image in the box, and blood look like color. So what happened if you could smell in the context of learning about your surrounding?" So in this case, I had 398 abstract smell molecules. It's very essential that these molecules are abstract, meaning no reference in reality. You make the reference, and these are the codes that hide behind those molecules. So when the news come in, I develop a software, so when the news come in to Reuters, it activates the codes, which then activate the molecule that communicate those codes. So you listen to the news, and you smell a molecule, and the amount of information you remember afterwards is astonishing. So this is the world of through the nose, news of through the nose, after 398 days. So this is how I use that kind of system for commercial purpose. I dig into 21 areas of Adidas, be it David Beckham sneakers. I extracted molecules from David Beckham sneakers. I found this molecule amazing, and this is, for the commercial purpose, this is code of molecule number 9, this is molecule number 9, and others have a toolbox, different combination of these molecules for different purpose. I took that information, this next step. I found the same molecule in this cheese. Believe it or not, it's amazing. And it's a cheese that smells like David Beckham sneakers. So here you have the cheese bacteria. Here you have the sneaker. Here you have the molecule, which you saw before, which is like in Adidas toolbox, invisible logo. Here you have the cheese making, and here you have the cheese for the Olympics in London in the VIP Adidas lounge. So, bad smells can be good. The more stinky the cheese, the better the cheese. The more stinky the human beings. So, as a consequence of that kind of thinking, I got paired in a project called Synthetic Aesthetic, among others. Daisy Ginsburg was the initiator. I was paired with a synthetic biologist at Harvard Medical School. So we did a residence in Harvard and in my lab in Berlin over a week, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and I still continue. To continue these ideas, what is life? Organism, microorganism, mini, whatever. So here we sequenced cheeses. We collected bacteria from different parts of human beings. We did this workshop at Stanford last summer, collecting synthetic biologists, noses, ears, armpits, etc., etc. Got the raw milk from Vermont and started, this is incubator, and started to make cheese from human bacteria. Somebody want to try? Yes. And the fantastic thing was, I had a whole French team of cheese connoisseurs smelling all the cheeses in Berlin. You remember, Daisy? And they were like, wow, this is like vintage, vintage, vintage. Oh my God, where do you get it? I better not tell you. Let's wait. Maybe David Beckham will get mad at me, but never mind. So I want to tell you, I mean, all this fun is also very serious. I think you learn better if you can laugh. Education is very important in my work. So all the projects I do, there's always an aspect of education. There's a whole world to educate and a whole world to smell. Oh my God, isn't that great? Smell is a learning tool. I do a couple of projects, among others, with Polytechnic University in Hong Kong. How can an abstract smell molecule, and that's very important, never forget, because all smells have a reference, and if it already have a reference, it cannot be used. So when I speak about abstract smell molecules, these are ingredients from my lab, and you make the reference. So here is a project about new tools for kids to learn and memorize more efficiently. They have a matter tool, a matter molecule. They have a biology molecule. So they learn hardcore information and smell at the same time. And when they have a test, they take back that molecule and recall all what they learned the day after. It's amazing. These are simple tools. It's just a little bit of education, a little bit of having fun, and you are one step beyond what you thought you ever be, and you have amazing software called the Nose, which you can use for that kind of purpose, among other purposes. So we test all this, not just doing it. So we have olfactometer, we scan the brain, what happened when you learn in the context of a smell and without a smell, etc., etc. How could smell and language play a role? As we know, we communicate smell as bad and good. And that's crazy. We have 5 directions of taste. We have thousands and 10,000 of different directions of smell. And humans can identify up to 10,000 different directions of smell. I took part in the World Science Festival in New York last year. I was one of the keynote speakers. And in addition to that, I organized a workshop at Columbia Circus with the Columbia University in NYU for children. So I had 2,500 children smelling smells from reality and making their comments. And these kids had so much fun. Some of them couldn't even write. They made color drawings, and they had so much fun. This year, we are going even hardcore. So it's going to be a continuation every year, more and more. And this was the middle of Chinatown, so you have all kind of variety. And parents coming like, oh no, this is bad, this is good. And the kids said, give me a break, I want. So the more rough the smell was, the better, the more fun the kids have. There was no roses there at all. So smell ID communication, I had a fun experience. A couple of weeks ago, I was invited to Aalto University in Finland, which is the world capital of design this year. And I haven't been in Finland for 15 years. I love Finland, but men are very strange. They are so silent till they have 2 liters of vodka inside, and then you're out with a knife. So here you have macho men get smelled by women. And these guys, they were asked to not clean for a week. And they sleep with that T-shirt. And they came to the workshop, and the girls and whatever had to smell them and give comments. So here you are, macho in a good way, delicious, sweet, whatever. And they lack words, and they try desperately to find words and having fun. And the more fun they have, the more they get to express all kind of strange words that never existed, and that's what I mean. Try to express about smell. It's difficult, but it's so fun. So what nose concern, we all have to become like kids because there are no way to do the right way. Look at these guys. They never speak. And they're like, they smell each other. The second part of the workshop was they had to reproduce the other people's smell. And so I give access to the process of making smells, and trying to integrate it in curriculum in schools, like we have ABC, we have numbers, why couldn't we have smell molecules? And learn to communicate maybe with these kind of tools. Made in the 80s. He didn't say a word. In the end of the workshop, he was speaking like crazy. Back to one of my key points of concern in my work. Smell is so much about tolerance. Doesn't matter how you look, what you believe in, as George Orwell say, but if your smell is not right, that's the end of the conversation and the end of the sympathy. How can we train this? This is a home of a homeless person. This is my homeless person. So I decontextualize, I take that kind of smell, put it in a wonderful, different context, train children to say, whoa, terrible. First we go to the reality, we go to my lab, we smell the replicated version of it, and the second workshop, the third workshop, and so on and so forth. The 7th or 8th workshop, the kids smelling homeless people in a golden glass, and they go back to the reality with, wow, who are you? What can I do for you? And I think tolerance has to start here. This tool is amazing. And yeah, if you have any ideas, if you can, whatever. So here's another project called Software. Software is a project I wanted to show humanity what they're carrying with them around. because we have a unique identity called smell, which is as unique as your fingerprint. And on the top of that, we add a lot of layers of perfume, or deodorants, and dog shit, and you name it, I see it. And here, I gathered people's garments in Geneva, in Montpellier, I think it was, because I've done several places. I headspace these garments and show the people what the content of smells they were carrying with them around. And they freaked out. This woman, she sued Chanel. She said, listen, I've been wearing Chanel No. 5 all my life, and it doesn't even cover up to have a lover wearing background heels under. Something must be wrong. So we cover up to fit in, and sometime maybe we should think about it. So what I do is using the knowledge of the industry for the purpose to show the same reality they cover up and deodorize and clean up. So the paradox of the collaboration is all about that. So I say, listen, first humanity, first we have the right to know what is there. Then we can decide to wear Chanel No. 5, background heels under, soap, wash our floor with the apple smells, etc., etc. So this is another project, smell per se, conveying information, abstraction and preservation. How can smell molecules help to preserve architecture? So there was a workshop at Columbia University, and I did a project in this context, and there will be a publication this year. A real estate company were about to tear down this building, and before that act was supposed to happen, they asked me to find maybe something they missed. So I collected remaining molecules from the ex-inhabitants of the different flats, sampled them, reproduced the smell, brought them back to the same room. So you pass by, you can smell people's activities. They had been living there for years back. They were eating habits, etc., etc. On behalf of this research, the owner of the house decided to keep the house, and you can still walk around and smell how people lived in East Berlin 10 years or 20 years ago. This is the kitchen, this is the bedroom. I just finished a project of Smell of World War I, which is the first ever project I did without having access to a source, because it's very essential. I don't pretend. I try to be very honest and very realistic and I try to replicate or reproduce what is out there. Yeah? In this case, I had no references. I didn't know anyone who survived the First World War. The last one, I think, died a couple of months ago. So I had all the history books and army to my disposal. But nevertheless, this is a project on display forever in Dresden, and they redesigned the museum, and they rewrote and reinterpreted German army history, and it's absolutely brilliant. So I'm very proud to be here, conveying, to have a position to give information about war beyond the look of war. This is a project also, smell per se, conveying information. This is part of the formula of my mouth. San Francisco MoMA, I bought my mouth smell. Can you imagine? It's like Apple, it's like MoMA in New York by So this is my mouth. They had a big exhibition last year called When Wine Became Modern. And I was commissioned to do a piece. I said, yes, but I'm only interested in wine at the moment it enters my body. So if I can drink a bottle, catch the smell, yes, I do it. So MoMA said, yes, but it has to be the wine, which is 1976 Grange Hermitage, got sent to me from Sydney. I brought it to New York. This is my mobile tool. I drank the wine from 9 in the morning, collected the smell. This is my, yes, I got drunken, but it's interesting. It's very interesting because it was an experiment. I didn't get drunken. My daughter was around. She said, Mommy, why don't you get drunken? Other people would be dead now. There's a whole bottle. I said, yes, but I'm doing an experiment. And then on the way back to New York, I was like, absolutely over there. So this is the scans of the molecules in my mouth. And then I got, again, the breakdown of the molecules. I go to chemistry, I replicate, and this is my mouth on display in MoMA. So you don't have to come out and smell my mouth. This is the abstract version of it. So you put your face inside, and you smell, and now it's on display forever. So it's, yeah, it's fun. This is a huge project, a very essential project of my all-over project, which started off at MIT in 2006 during the Bush government. And I was curious to find out, or I was asked to do a project about the census and new technology. So I was asked to do some investigation. How could one smell that a person has fear? I developed a small device that I got access to 21 phobic men that suffer from serious phobia towards other human beings. And I developed a small device which they were carrying with them all the time. This device collected the sweat at the moment of a fear attack. I replicated those sweat and put it back on the walls at MIT. So this is a reality, and this is my reality. Like decontextualize, put the humanity into a beautiful aesthetic context. You touch the wall and you smell somebody's skin, somebody's fear, and it's amazing. In America, it was a completely different reaction than in China, which was the Beijing Olympics. So here you have people who are very afraid of their noses, and suddenly they have 21 anxious men lined up, and they couldn't get enough of it. This woman, she was so impressed. Oh, I can even smell his legs. Like, wow. So this technology is amazing, and there's also the same technology you will have on the card. So you touch this nanotechnology. You came off of the scratch and sniff, maybe you know from the gloss magazines, and I developed this technology much further. I can bind it to paint, I can bind it to fabric, I can bind it to plastic, paper, and so on and so forth. And it's amazing. So you touch the surface and the open nano units and release the smell. So it only smells if you interact with it. So this is how that kind of project gets placed completely somewhere else. And this is the most glamorous perfume fair in the world in Florence. They pay me 30,000 euro to sit around and speak about body sweat. And I do that gladly for 30,000 euro. The fear of body, the body of fear. So here we are, scary guys lined up in beautiful bottles, and people came over and said, listen, but is this how we smell? Why do we need perfume? I said, yes, you got it. Yeah, but maybe we can make perfume from those sweats. I said, why would you? That's how you smell, so why don't you just find out first and then maybe not even use perfume? I'm nothing against it, just I think we have to have a choice, you know, to clean things up if we want to. If we don't want to, just leave it. So here you can touch guy number 8. Here you can clean yourself with guy number 5. And you can put on some body lotion on guy number 12. And these are tough guys. These are guys living, you name it, I say it, in underground. And as a beautiful soap, yeah, if it's a substitute for being alone, why not? So here's a small magazine. I did with a small distribution in Berlin. And Tina De Carlo, she was a creator at MoMA, so she did an interview. So the same technology, and you can buy this outside, I think there's some more left. Here you have the guys on display as invisible portraits. So you touch the surface and you smell the different guys. One of my friends sleep with this magazine. He opened one page every night. It's like, wow, guy number 11 was amazing. Guy number 5, I'm not sure. So here we are. Cape Town. Smell the city. Yes. Get me under your skin, baby. So these are the cities I have done, in process of doing, and much more to come. Cape Town on my big list. So this is how I get out there with my nose, put my nose into everything. I show you a little bit of process. So and oh, beautiful. And yes, and this is the headspace. This is the most amazing catfish place in Detroit I've never ever seen in my life. They go into the dirty river, they fish the fish, they kill it, and they fry it in tons of oil, and then they sell it for $1, you know. And it's lying around the corner, and it's disgusting. And it's awful. So I catch some molecules from this or whatever. So this is beautiful meat. Yes, anyway, so I show a couple of cities, how they are on display, you know, decontextualized, put into different context. Not necessarily back to the city immediately, but in the end of the day also. So this is Berlin. is variety of smell and diversity in all kind of direction. So a lot of research is about language, about finding out how do people communicate the smell, why are they not saying this, why are they saying this, and so on and so forth. So I'm not going into those details too much. North Berlin, East Berlin, South Berlin, Southeast, West, North, Northwest, Northeast, East. Not so. Woo! So, if you can put a hardcore city in a beautiful bottle like this, this is how it looks. This is how it looks like at MoMA. And this is the fantastic girls from all over who let people smell the smell of hardcore Berlin at MoMA opening. But having said that, at MoMA, I was not allowed to let people smell my smells. This was an exhibition, Talk to Me. So you would think, talk to me means talk to me, yeah? And in my case, smell me, yeah? And no. So in the last month, one guy decided to pick up the upper bottle, said, I want to smell, which caused that the whole museum smelled. And I got a lot of problems. But they had so much security. They had the fans around, all over, don't touch, don't touch. And they called me and said, Sissel, was this a performance made by you? I said, maybe. But I had insured the piece for a fortune. And I win the case. I'm no kind of millionaire, but yes, so the piece don't exist anymore. I declare destroyed because three bottles got destroyed. It fell down and broke. And so I said, no, that's so much work. Smell is not just something; it's work. So they had to accept that smells are gum. They have to pay for it. They don't know that I can reproduce it. Anyway, so here we are out in the city with all the kids looking for smells, and it's fantastic. Come, kids, let's go here, to whatever areas. Don't think about the look of things. Find the smells and discover the city from different purpose, different perspectives. So here we are, traveling around, working for the city. I'm quite soon finished. Liverpool with Tate Modern, Tate Gallery. Here, hardcore neighborhoods, placed in public buildings. I ask people to give one word to different smells. So all these words are expressions, intuitive expressions towards different hardcore smells. So you walk into cinemas, library, etc., and you smell North Liverpool. Another one is South Liverpool. Downstairs in all public buildings, you have this map, this dictionary telling what all these expressions mean. Again, an attempt to communicate this invisible surrounding that surround you full time, all the time. Mexico City, I did a huge project with Harvard. From 2001 to 2009, I did a research, 210 neighborhoods. It's all about awareness and pollution, the big issue. And I did put my nose in the most scary places. I'm soon finished, yeah? This is my Mexico City. Fantastic, full of color. This is on display at Harvard at the Ecological Urbanism Conference, and I win an award for this project and developing tools of awareness in difficult situations, be it pollution or whatever. So here we have 2,100 smells. And this is, you see, the Mosen de Dean at the GST. Oh my God, Sissel, garbage. Anyway, so here we are, talking nose, 21 hours film showing noses at the moment of smelling pollution. And pollution look like this. In my case, it looked like this. These are pollution components. And kids are playing with the pollution, understanding pollution, writing about the pollution, and go back to the world maybe with a completely different take on this, all these dangerous things happening to our surrounding. Cape Town, research one. Beautiful Cape Town. I love. Start with the beautiful images. I was putting my nose into Cape Town, the Kirstenbusch, with amazing people that helped me there. And catching the smell molecules. This is Kirstenbusch, one of the scans. The identification of the molecules. This is another area, Long Street, and Headspace Long Street. Yes, so you see different part of city. And you have a card. And this is the map, and the postcard fit into this empty spot, and if you touch the skin of that card, you smell Cape Town under your skin. Thank you very much.